Hello. Hello. Hi, Heidi です。Welcome back. I'm Heidi. So we are here for episode 2 of How Did You Maru in Japan. On the first episode, I talked about how did I move to Japan. So for episode 2, we are going deep into how do you find an apartment in Japan? So, well, this is my personal story. There's many different realtors and places and ways you can find living space in Japan. However, I'm gonna personally talk about my experience when I first moved here. This is my very first time living on my own. I haven't lived with my parents since I was 15 or so. I've moved in with my grandma after family stuff. So I've always been a pretty independent person, but it was my first time living on my own and in a whole new country that I had just moved into. I knew just from having watched Japanese TV during my time abroad in high school. I knew the most famous Japanese apartment site is called Sumo. So I looked up on there. I have lots of ways to find an apartment or house or whatever specific to your needs. So I think I looked by location. I wanted to move to somewhere that was going to be within a 20-minute commute to my language school at the time. And my language school was in Okachimachi, which is between Akihabara and Ueno. So I wanted to move somewhere that was 20 minutes to there. And my goal was for it to be under, we'll just say $500, goman. if yen and dollars were exact at the time. Yeah, my budget, I was really hoping to find an apartment that was $500-600 a month, which is very doable for Tokyo if you're finding a smaller space for one person living, especially if it's more on the outskirts of Tokyo. And I just wanted something that looked nice and clean. I didn't really my first time living on my own, I didn't have a huge image in mind. I just wanted my own space that was nice and clean, hopefully quiet, easy to get to school too. So I looked with those options, and online I actually found a place that I think it was a little bit over my budget. It was maybe $650 or something instead of $600. Again, just imagining that dollars and yen is the same amount. Because I have such trouble saying Japanese numbers in English. I don't know what it is. I'm bad with numbers in either language. I have dyslexia, everything gets all confused. So yeah, just bear with me. I found one place that I really liked. It was within the commute time that I wanted, just slightly over my budget, but it sounded really nice and looked very spacious for a Japanese apartment. I sent in a little message to the realtor that was in charge of that listing, and they're like, yeah, okay, well, we can show you the apartment whenever you get to Japan. I set the date for the second day I was there. The day after, I was gotta find an apartment fast. So I moved in December, in the latter half of December, and in Japan, New Year's is the biggest holiday, kind of how with America, Christmas is the biggest holiday. Everything closes down. I had to find an apartment quick before everything shut down for the winter holidays, and before my school started, which was going to be right after all the winter holidays ended. So I set to meet with the realtor the second day I was here, and they were like, yeah, we can go and show you the apartment, but they don't allow foreigners, sorry. And I'm like, well, you could told me that in the email ahead of time, but okay. What fits my criteria and does allow foreigners? And they came up with a whole of 3 listings. 3. I mean, I get it. It's a foreigner who moved there the day before, who had just moved into the country, doesn't have a job yet, is still a student. I understand why people don't really want to, rent to someone like that. there is a really big problem with realtors, apartment owners, landlords not wanting to deal with foreigners. Like, it's so hard to find an apartment as a foreigner. Even now that I've been here almost 10 years. Like, I moved last year, and that was another, just like one after another apartment being like, yeah, I think I like this place. Sorry, no foreigner. I've lived here for so long. I have a solid job. Come on, please. And they're like, no, sorry. Anyway, because I wanted an apartment 20 minutes within the area my school was in. See, I just assumed it's Tokyo. It's Japan. It's a safe country. There's no such thing as a bad area in Tokyo, especially considered I've lived in really bad areas in America with my mom. Like, nothing can be worse than that. I mean, of course nothing is worse. But, see, you would think that the realtors would have warned me that the area that they were showing me the apartments in is literally the worst area in Tokyo. The area that they showed me apartments in was at a station called Takenotsuka, which is, it's infamous having like, you know, like gang members, having really bad drunk people, just like having low life people having like crime problems. It's like really infamous for that. And I didn't know because I had just moved to Tokyo. How would I know? I didn't really think to look up like bad areas in Tokyo. I just assumed like if it's not a red light district, it's probably okay. Little did I know. But yeah, it's the cheapest area to get to around Ueno and Akihabara around 20 minutes for sure. Yeah. So everything was in my budget, but yeah, they showed me 3 apartments. 2 of them were completely disgusting, like 50-year-old Japanese style apartments with like the tatami mats were like falling apart and like it smelled like mold in the whole house. It was bad. And I'm like, why would you even offer to show me this? No one's gonna rent here. What? They were super cheap too, but like I couldn't. I'm someone who's so cleanly. I like everything to be neat and tidy at all times. Thanks Dad for, you know, making me that way, I guess. My dad's a super clean freak, so yeah. I grew up like everything has to be clean at all times. So yeah, I was like, no. And then the last apartment that they showed me was a renovated 40-year-old building. It was 40 years old, but it was renovated. So I was like, okay. It looked nice and clean. The walls were painted white. It had like new flooring, fake wood. Let's put some pictures here. This is what it looked like. Picture time. I also filmed a couple of YouTube videos in this apartment. I think I made them private, maybe, but maybe not. I'll like post a little clip here. Yeah. Hi guys, it's me, Heidi. Yeah, so this apartment. And it was also on the first floor. And the building itself didn't have any front security. Now this is my first time living on my own, and again, assuming that Japan is super safe. So I was like, yeah, okay. Sure, it looks so clean. I'm gonna want to practice dance. Living on the first floor is probably a good idea. No, Heidi. No, younger me. No. My only off thing about that apartment, like on first glance, was when we walked in, there was a dead cockroach on the floor, and I was like, maybe it's just because no one's lived here for half a year or so. Maybe. Oh, that should have been my warning. Oh, that apartment was so gross. But yeah, it looked clean. It looked nice and clean. And it was the only clean of the 3 options that they gave me. 3. They're like, yeah, we can find more if you up your budget. And I'm like, I do not even have a job yet. So I was like, yeah, this is gonna be my place. Sign me up. We come to our next problem. I don't have a Japanese phone number or a Japanese bank account. In order to make a Japanese bank account, you need an address. In order to sign a contract with a phone company and get a phone number, you need an address and a bank account. Aww. Oh, this is every immigrant's hell, and I feel like everyone deals with this. How I dealt with it was I made a Skype phone number. You can like make a contract with Skype and like they'll give you an online phone number. Not all places will accept those numbers in Japan. They're a little more accepting and open now, but like back in the day there were a lot of places that were like, oh, if your phone number starts with 070, that's like the cheapo net phone number starting numbers, area code kind of thing. No, we won't accept it. But the realtor I was with was like very chill. They were like, yeah, okay, that's fine. And so I used that number, and what was going to be my future address, I just went ahead and used it. No permission yet. Just went ahead and used it to open up my bank account. This is gonna be what my bank account is. And they were like, yeah, okay, but there's no money in it yet, so how are you gonna pay for the deposit? Luckily, they were very flexible, allowed me to use my debit card from my American account to pay for the deposit for my apartment in Japan. I feel like a lot more places do that now, but 9 years ago it was still pretty rare that they would let you do that, and I think I had to get like special permission from the landlord and like from a bunch of people, and like the realtors themselves had to have like a little meeting among themselves to be like, is this okay? Is it okay if she pays with a debit card from America? Oh. But it all worked out. So I paid for my deposit. I got my bank account. Had my like fake temporary phone number. And ta-da! I got my apartment. Yay! That was the worst apartment I've ever lived in my entire life, and I would never choose to live in that area ever again. And here's why. I could honestly make a whole video on like horror stories of shit that happened in that apartment. Like the first cockroach warned me, it was on the first floor of a 40-year-old building. There were so many bugs. There were so many cockroaches in the summer. It was so disgusting. And like, I'm a super cleanly person. It wasn't me. It was just like the building was just so old that there were like cracks and spots for bugs to get in everywhere. And because there was no like front gate security, front door security on the building itself, and it was in a bad neighborhood, and I lived on the first floor, I had problems multiple times with people trying to follow me into my apartment, people like stalking me. There was like some guy that would always come down and try and watch while I was showering, because like there was like a window on the shower and that went into like face the hall in the building, and like there was always some guy that was trying to watch me shower. The family next door had like, there's obviously abuse going on in that apartment, and like the kids were like constantly being locked out of the apartment and were like in the hallways crying all the time. It was the worst place I've ever lived in my entire life, and like I lived in some bad places with my mom in America. Like, it's right up there. Yeah, so I don't recommend that area. Everyone starts somewhere. Started at the bottom and now we're here. But I did manage to make it super cute and fancy like my apartment is now. I will always make even the worst hellhole pink and sparkly and pretty, because that's what I do. Yeah, so that's how I got my apartment, my first apartment in Japan. I hope this was somewhat educational and formal for you. There are a lot more like open-minded realtors for like paying with card or like not needing a phone number, that kind of thing. I feel like nowadays a lot more people are flexible, was my experience like with finding this apartment last year. But yeah, it's always a struggle when you're moving across the country, especially if it's your first time doing so. Living on your own, it's a lot, but I believe in you. Get your cute tiny little place. Recommendation, if you are a girl especially looking to live on your own in Tokyo and you're searching for your first apartment, some things I would keep an eye out for is always rent on the second floor or above, for sure, just because for safety reasons and for like bugs, just there's going to be less chance of bugs if you're higher up. Always look for a place that has like auto lock on the front gate of the building, maybe even on the apartment door if possible. I would also recommend looking for a place that has room for a washing machine inside the apartment. I think it's pretty rare for buildings, apartments in Japan to have like a communal washing machine space, like a coin laundry within the apartment building itself. There will be some in the neighborhood, but like it really adds up fast, so you're gonna want to get your own washing machine. Also, I know like with American apartments, they come with like a refrigerator and a microwave, but you need to buy that on your own here. Keep that in mind. Back to the washing machine thing. Don't have one that they like make you put it on the balcony, because again, bugs, and this is like a country that has serious mold issues. So yeah, you just don't want to do that. Maybe my top 3 things to look out for. Yeah, when possible, building with concrete walls is always gonna be better soundproof wise than with wooden walls, and also be better in case of a earthquake or other serious emergency. Yeah. Things to keep in mind. There's also apartments that are for like females only. So if you're a girl looking to move and live on your own, like I would definitely keep an eye out for those places. I truly recommend staying in one, because like you just never know what kind of creepy weirdos might be living next door. Yeah. But anyway, yes, I hope this helped you out. Good luck with finding your own super cute space to live in Japan. Next episode will be about language school, the goods, the bads, everything. Ooh, get ready for a long one. Alright, see you guys soon. はいちゃんことHeidiでした。バイバイ。